Hey, it appears that the most recent update for Cyberpunk 2077 is still plagued by additional bugs, and there are reports from Xbox players encountering save errors. If you are unsure of what this looks like, then take a look on the screen here. In the middle, you'll see a pop-up message that says save failed, with the top left corner displaying a save failed insufficient space message, with also that blue font there. So far, this issue seems to be specific to Xbox, and I mentioned so far because honestly, I haven't come across any reports from PlayStation owners discussing this exact message. This problem has popped up in the past due to memory issues with saves, but it appears to be resurfacing again for some reason. There are several players who have reported this issue so far. For example, this Reddit user named Resher made a post saying, quote, "Bug after 2.02 update constantly says not enough space to save. Like the title says, so I tried deleting 7 manual saves and then let me save once. However, when I went back to do another save over the same file, it said no space." End quote. And as I mentioned a few seconds ago, that this bug has been spreading around quite a lot on Xbox with another Reddit user named Savonki, I don't know, I'm probably going to butcher it, but yeah, who had created a post with the title saying, quote, "Saves 2.02 Xbox," end quote, and says, quote, "I only found one Shoom that had their saves deleted. As the title says, I'm on Xbox Series S to be precise. So here's the deal, my autosave is gonked and won't trigger. I also cannot manual save. I'm getting save failed with other wording of insufficient space. I know there's a save limit, but I have multiple save slots open. Did anyone else get this?" End quote. This bug can be quite annoying. There's also another message that can pop up completely random after patch, informing you that you have to reinstall Phantom Liberty. For example, right here it says Phantom Liberty has not been installed correctly. Phantom Liberty's files were not installed correctly. Please uninstall the game, clear the console cache, perform power drain / cycle, and do a fresh install. What's interesting about this is that this is just a pop-up, so really it's telling you to uninstall things and reinstall it or delete cache. You do not need to do that at all, so what you can do is just skip past the message and continue on with your day. Although it does say that you need to do this, I do not think you need to, but if you have been experiencing some very strange visual or artifacts, then I would suggest possibly even reinstalling the game. There could be an issue. If this has been something you've been experiencing as well, I would recommend reporting these bugs to the developers, but at the same time, I wonder whether or not this will be the last patch for Cyberpunk. The primary objective of this patch, which to my assumption was to tackle a substantial number of issues that, we were experiencing. Now, while CG Projekt Red has successfully addressed a good amount of bugs, patch 2.02 may have also made things worse. If you haven't encountered the downgrade bug yet, allow me to demonstrate. I'm genuinely surprised that they have not resolved this issue yet. Here's pretty much what can happen. Let's say you accidentally sell something, you go and visit a drop point, sell a few of your weapons, then either move a certain distance away from the drop point or even pause the game, create a quick save, then reload that sucker right back up. This can result in downgrading the weapon in the drop point. Yep, this issue can affect a considerable number of players, by the way, especially if you are the forgetful type who tends to just sell your weapons without much thought. And if that is the case, do not feel alone. I'm actually the same exact type. I will sell things and not even think things through. It happens all the time in games like Diablo, Fallout, man, it just happens, right? Moving forward, the next bug I'm about to discuss will contain major spoilers about Mr. Hand's identity to pretty much reveal what he looks like and all that good stuff. So if you wish to avoid this, please feel free to skip ahead. With that warning to the side, let's discuss a problem that a player has recently encountered. Mr. Hands appears to be frozen in place right here, making it pretty much difficult to interact with, and also not to mention completing the rest of his missions. Reddit user Jonte VP demonstrated this exact problem in game. There appears to be really no workaround for this at the current moment, so if you're going through this issue, then I would say wait for a patch, but again, I feel like this is probably the last patch. I am, of course, only assuming and speculating that this will be the last patch, but if there is another patch that they end up releasing, It might just be smaller and probably just something to fix up some of those major problems. So far we've talked about save errors, the Phantom Liberty error, and we've also talked about the downgraded weapons. What else is going on? If you take a look on the screen here, you can see that it says 2.02 bug addicted to chaos. Quote, when I enter Terra Cognita, my game says I've completed the gig addicted to chaos. I haven't even unlocked this gig yet. Luckily, I can reload a save before it says that, but every time I enter an area, it happens. End quote. This is not just one individual experiencing this, it appears to be a group, because there's some players down below that have also talked about this. Traditional Act says, quote, I'm having the same issue. Then another player named Mitnick says, same here, good thing I immediately checked here and haven't played after it happened, but not being able to do other gigs until Addicted to Chaos is completed the legit way is a bit annoying. There's also more there, but I'm not going to get into it, but this is what's going on right now with quests as well. Continuing on, last but not least, I have personally experienced something. I had to look around to see if I was the only one going through a drop in frame rates, because my in-game FPS was hovering around 45 to 55 FPS, which is not normal at all, especially considering I have an RTX graphics card. But it was a strange situation. And after looking around, I discovered that a few players have recently reported a drop in FPS. There is a Steam post here that talks about this exact problem. The post right here says patch 2.02 made game worse. Hey all, my game was running very nicely these last few weeks up until today, and the patch was released. My models aren't loading in, and if they do, it's super slow. I'm getting numerous crashes, which hasn't happened before, and some audio, visual, and combat glitches too. Is there a way to go back to version 2.01 or whatever was before this, question mark? The person down below says patch 2.02 did not make the game worse, your unpatched mods might too. This might seem like, okay, that might be the problem, right? Some sort of mods are probably installed, you have to uninstall them. So sure, it seems like the perfect situation, right? That might just be the reason for this. But no, it appears that that is not the case, because I checked all my stuff, by the way, and it appears that it's not because of a mod. Actually, if you take a look down below, there's someone that says this right here, which says, came here looking for a thread like this, unsure what is different, but feels like the game is blurrier, and my frame rate that was around 80 is now around 55 FPS. End quote. I personally would like to know whether or not you have been experiencing this, especially if you do own an RTX card. This way we could kind of determine what's going on here. Personally, if I could throw in my 2 cents here, I would say that this is due to the patch. Because in patch 2.01, I actually had quite a good time. I mean, there was a lot more FPS than I do now. And on top of that, things were not that laggy. And it seems that things are starting to skip, and it just seems really weird. Possibly something's bugging out with the graphic settings. I honestly have no clue. If I can be real, I honestly have mixed feelings about this recent update, whether or not this is a cause for concern or just something to dismiss. If there are still persistent bugs after a patch like this, it raises questions about the quality of the next upcoming Cyberpunk game. Playing devil's advocate here though, one might speculate that the current patch could be just attributed to the fact that a significant portion of the developers have shifted their focus to the next game, basically leaving only a limited number of developers to address and correct these bugs. But honestly, I'm no developer. I have no idea how things are going over there at CG Project Red, but I can only assume this is why bugs and glitches and stuff like that's popping up out of nowhere. Now I do want to say first and foremost that I am not hating on the next game, because obviously it's not even out yet. I actually am really stoked for it, and I have a lot of faith in CD Projekt Red as well as Cyberpunk in general. So hopefully we do see something that will fix some of these issues. If not, I guess it's just something to suck up, right? Because they are focusing on that next game. With that being said, this is the end of the video, but I have something important to tell you. You should subscribe. Why? Well, because I do not sponsor anything that has to do with RMT sites, meaning I do not say join this site, use my sponsor code, get a discount so that you can, purchase a bunch of in-game items. I do not believe in that. I actually just believe in glitching and using exploits to pick up unlimited money or weapons or whatever the case may be. That's what I believe in. And I don't want you guys to just waste your hard-earned money on something like that when you can just pick it up for free. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for checking out the channel. If you have any questions, definitely comment down below. I will try to respond within the first hour or two. Appreciate all the love and support from all of you, and make sure that you definitely check out the rest of the videos if you have not done so. See ya!